What up, Ref Leaders? Welcome back to my channel. We find ourselves back in Kingston, Georgetown, Guyana. That building is at the corner of Camp Street and Seawall Road. That is the new CID, Criminal Investigation Department, that's being built. And just wanted to bring you down here so you can see the civil engineering works that are being done at the seafront. So since the last time we were here, the civil engineers have been piling rocks along the beach to protect the coast. Now the sea is out, so it's low tide. It's about 7:30 in the morning. It's a Tuesday morning, or is it Wednesday? Here in Georgetown, Guyana. And there are a couple of things that I wanted to talk about as I show you some of these developments. One of them has to do with national security. So a few weeks ago, the US Navy did a flyover of Georgetown. So there is ongoing cooperation between the Guyana Defense Force and the US military. And I think I mentioned this some time ago in the previous videos when I attended one of the Army's Vendor Day sessions at the Princess Hotel on the East Bank, right near Providence. And if you go back, I don't know if I posted videos about that. I think I may have posted some reels and some shorts. But so I attended the Army Vendor Day here in Georgetown. So what has happened since the last time we were here, let me get back to talking about the beach, is they trucked in tons and tons of white sand. Now there's still a problem with garbage here on the sea, on the beach, on the seashore. And there's some developments. So the last time we were here, they were still completing that building. So this is the concession stand. It's closer to completion now. They've built some, I think the last time we were here they had already built these shaded parts of the promenade. This is the esplanade, right? But I wanted to show you what's happening here. There's this two-story, three-story concession stand. That building is closer to completion. The building behind it, that one is the office of DPP. They've actually put some paint on it. It's still not yet completed. This is the seawall bandstand, and it has been renovated again. It seems to need renovation every year. Thankfully this year they're keeping up with the renovations. And that's the Pegasus Suites and Corporate Center here on the promenade. So as I was saying, they trucked in some sand and rehabilitated some of the beach front here with white sand, and they built this barrier of stones. Now they actually built this barrier for about a quarter of a mile in both directions from here. Previously these jetties, these walls projecting into the ocean, into the sea, were the only barriers at this point, and they're here because they limit or they mitigate erosion, beach erosion, right? Because you can see on one side of the beach it's washed away On the one side of the jetty, it's washed away, and on the other side of the jetty, the beach is much more extensive. So they put some, that is the civil engineers, put some rocks, built piles of rocks along the beach to help mitigate, slow down erosion, beach erosion. And that's the Pegasus Suites and Corporate Center from the beach. A view of the view of the Pegasus Suites and Corporate Center from the beach. So yeah, what I was saying about the security situation is that the Guyana Defense Force has been running military operations, training programs with the US military. In this case, it was the Navy, the US Navy, and they flew a pair of F-18 or those Hornets, a pair of F-18 Hornets. Now I wasn't prepared for this because I hadn't seen the announcement in the news until afterwards, but there was this loud roar, right, the screaming engines, because they were flying like about 1,000 feet over Georgetown. And so when I came to my front door, I saw this pair of military jets turning a wide arc over the city and leaving a loud noise, trail of noise behind. And immediately I thought maybe Venezuela is invading. But then I took a closer look at the jets, because they were in the air for about I saw them for about 10 seconds, 5 or 10 seconds before they disappeared over the horizon. They flew out over the Atlantic Ocean. Morning. So I quickly realized that they were US military and not Venezuelan military. So for those of you who haven't been following the developments in the past, year or so, Venezuela has been amassing troops at the border with Guyana, with Essequibo, and they're continuing to build up military bases out there across the Cayuny River, or the river between Venezuela and Guyana. So what has happened is that they were starting to build a bridge. Now, none of this ever makes the news. You kind of have to pick it up from other sources. So they were starting to build a bridge across the river to Guyana. Remember, the Venezuelan president, Nicolas Maduro, already declared that Essequibo is part of Venezuela. So he was trying to make it accessible, because the Venezuelan president has already made it clear, or encouraged Venezuelan companies to explore for natural resources, oil and gold and diamonds and so on, in Essequibo, which is our territory, and it's also rich in mineral resources. Like I said, this is what they did in the last 6 months or so. They built up this wall. I'm actually showing you, this is a wall of stones, and I'm showing you how the civil engineers have been engineering or mitigating beach erosion here at Kingston Beach. Right, so since 2022, I think, when I first attended those Army Vendors Day sessions, the US military has been running joint operations with the Guyana Defense Force. And so I believe in response to Venezuela's recent aggressions, that's building a bridge over the river to Essequibo and building military installations along the Venezuelan border with Guyana, the US military has decided to step up their operations with the Guyana Defense Force. And that is how the